Hey out there, legal warriors. Falsely accused. If you're falsely accused of a crime, that is one of the worst things anybody can go through, and you totally feel helpless. But in this video, I'm going to cover what you need to do to not feel helpless and improve your chances of not being wrongfully convicted. If you're interested in this area of the law, stay tuned, because this is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 20 years, and we're putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. I'm just going to jump right into it. Being falsely accused. You know, I've been a defense attorney for a long time, and in most cases, you know, we can have differences of opinion about what happened. But it's not usually black and white, an absolute false allegation. And when those situations do happen, oftentimes it could be a certain type of sex offense, it could be child abuse cases, things where they're black and white, and there's more motivation of the accuser to lie. Those are so hard on our clients, because I get asked the question, well, there's no evidence. Well, you know, the evidence is that person's word versus your word. And so those are the situations where my clients are the most frustrated. And I think there's at least 3 things to remember and to do when we are dealing with an absolute false accusation type case. I mean, black and white, you know, they beat me up and you were never in the same state, you know, that type of situation. So I think the most important thing that we can do if we're accused, or if we're in that situation, to not just lose our mind, is begin to think about what the motivations are for the false allegation. There's always going to be a motivation for a totally out of the blue allegation that is 100% false. And ones that come to my mind would be, you know, a child who is in trouble at home for some reason, and now to get out of trouble, they start claiming someone else did something to them. Someone else abused them in some way, and now they go from being in trouble with mom and dad to they're now the victim with mom and dad and getting love and affection, right? And people can actually be victims of crimes, and I'm saying this is assuming it's a false allegation before I get a bunch of negative comments. I'm assuming that it's a lie, that some accuser is lying about something. What are the reasons for the lie? Okay, what's another possible reason? Well, it could be a custody dispute, right? There's a custody dispute, and one parent says, my child told me that X, Y, and Z happened, or they've got a bruise that was caused by the other parent, and the other parent had nothing to do with it, right? The accused person had nothing to do with it. Well, you know, what's the motivation? Well, perhaps to gain advantage in some type of custody situation. There can be other situations. Hey, I dumped my boyfriend, and now he's saying that I stole something from him, or I assaulted him, you know, and what's the possible reason for the false allegation? Revenge, right? So if we have to start with what are the possible reasons for the black and white lie by the accuser, so we eventually can build a story while doing other things in the case, build the believable version. When I say story, that doesn't mean a lie. The believable version of the facts, why someone would make this up, because the system doesn't want to believe people just make things up, right? The police don't want to believe people just make things up. Sometimes they figure that out, and I commend the police for that. But naturally, their job is to follow up on accusations, and so many times people say, why would they lie? Right? Why would they lie? And so that's so hard to deal with. I think while we're doing that, if that was number one, the second thing I think we need to do is keep taking affirmative steps in the case. Even if we're wrongfully accused, the client, the person in the situation being accused, still needs to take affirmative steps, because there's many ways to get out of a case. If we're not going to get an apology and an admission that it's a false allegation, let's still try to get the case dismissed however we can, because that's what matters, right? What matters is we need to not be convicted of something we didn't do. So we still need to take affirmative steps. Don't get shut down, right? You might need to do the alcohol treatment or the anger management or whatever the attorney wants you to do. Don't make the mistake of shutting down and say, well, because I'm innocent, I'm not doing anything, right? And that's just dumb, okay? That is sort of a naive way of thinking that that somehow the truth will set me free. The truth will save me. I've already done a video on that. The truth will not save you, right? Because no one knows what the truth is. Hopefully we get to it, and hopefully we make it there. But sometimes the truth won't come out. Let's still try to get it dismissed, even if the truth doesn't come out. And as part of this, the third thing is please be prepared to go to trial, right? Be prepared to go to trial is number 3, because on a major felony, the prosecutor's not going to back down, right? They can't, right? If their complainer, their alleged victim is saying it happened, they're going to present the case. Unless the alleged victim falls apart, they're going to present the case. So be prepared to go to trial. It's hard to do. It's expensive. It's costly, but be prepared. And so why do we want you to be prepared to go to trial? Because as the case gets closer to trial, here's what we've learned. Sometimes it's hard to maintain the lie. The motivation as time passes of the alleged victim, may dissipate. If they're angry, well, they're less angry as time passes. If it was a custody issue, maybe they've already got the custody, right? If they were in trouble with mom and dad, maybe they're no longer in trouble with mom and dad. And so there's more of a personal cost for them to maintain the lie over time. And if we're going towards a trial, then we get to question them and do things. And now there's an actual cost to them emotionally when they get challenged versus just everyone going, oh, poor thing, right? Again, this is assuming that they're lying. This is what we're talking about. So be prepared, because sometimes it's hard for that lie to hold up long term. Also be prepared because prosecutors, especially the good ones, they've been around the block. They're not idiots, okay? The good prosecutors, the brave prosecutors, they can sometimes, when they finally get a chance to sit down with their alleged victim, because they're so busy, they don't really have a chance, maybe never have even met them, and they've pushed the case this far. When they get to sit down for the interviews, now they can see. Now they may be able to see what's going on. And in some cases, the complaining witness, the alleged victim, presents so poorly, the prosecutor might get rid of the case, right? The prosecutor might change the offer. The prosecutor might go, oh my goodness, we've got this wrong, or I think we have it wrong. And so that's why you have to be prepared to go to trial, because good things can happen, right? Again, you hear me talk about we always want to avoid trial, I think, if we can make the case go away in another way. But if you've been wrongfully accused, if it's a major case, the only way to make it go away to have any chance is to push on, is to push forward. And you're going to listen to your attorneys. If the case looks hopeless, they may tell you not to. We don't know. But I think that is the third pointer if you're falsely accused of a crime. So what was number 1? Number 1, think about what's in it for them to lie. What is their motivation, right? Number 2, don't give up. Still do the affirmative steps. Don't look for only one way out. And step 3, be prepared to go all the way, because in the long run, it's hard to maintain a lie, and the motivations may change to maintain the lie a year or 2 into the case. And so I don't want you to give up. When I first planned this video, I don't plan many videos. I had a fourth, which is, stay positive, but I think I can say that without making it a number. Stay positive, because usually the lies don't hold up. All right. So thanks for hanging there with me. If you find this video useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get to see it. More importantly, if you've got a criminal case, if you need some help, if you're in Washington State, give my office a call. We'll listen to what happened. We'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.